Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all beloved listeners. Good evening. I'm DJ Fina and you're now tuning into IIUMFM, your campus radio. So whether you're on the way to the class, going back to Mahala or going to the cafe, please stay tuned because we have got an interesting topic to discuss together today. So we're now in segment Listen Up for 3 to 4 p.m. and also program for hashtag Dan Dakwah episode 9. Wow, Masya Allah. Now we are already at episode 9, okay? So how time flies. So today we want to talk about something that I think is really important for us, especially for Muslim women, which is Taharah. So Taharah in Islam means purity and cleanliness and also means the purification and cleansing of the bodies, objects, soul and heart from the things which Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala ordered that they be purified from and with the way that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala specified. So Tahara is very important for every Muslim do it before they perform the prayers, for example, okay? But before that, let me introduce our inspiring guest for today's session. So with us right now, we have Sister Mai, and she's now studying in Halal Industry Management in 4th year, first sem. So Assalamualaikum, Sister Mai.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
So how are you?
Alhamdulillah, good.
How's your week so far? Is it good or not?
Yes, inshallah, as everyone else surviving.
Yeah, because we have a lot of assignment to submit, right?
Yes.
Now we in week 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's quite challenging for students like us. Okay, so today we have an exciting lineup of questions that sure to keep you engaged and also informed. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. So, Sister Mine, we talk about Taharah, right? So can you explain to us the concept of Taharah in Fiqh of Women before we go deeply about this topic?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Okay, as been introduced, I'm Sister Mai and I would like to thank IUMFM for this opportunity to invite me here, and I am looking forward for this session. Okay, so the question of Taharah and Fiqh of Women. So before we start into Taharah itself, I would like to brief about Fiqh of Women. So Fiqh of Women is actually a very broad concept, include menstruation or height and istihadhah or abnormal blood. There is also blood related to giving birth, such as wilada, nifas and fasad. Okay, so nifas is postpartum bleeding. And when we talk about menstruation, like the main thing is menstruation in Fiqh of Women. So it's closely related to puberty actually. So menstruation is a sign of puberty, and puberty of women can be known by the signs of menstrual blood. So it's closely related. So when we talk about puberty, it's actually about when a person, either male or female, reach a certain age, he and she becomes eligible for the religious duties to be addressed to him or her. For example, prayer, fasting, hajj. Okay. So how to know when a person reach puberty in Islam? So the first way is by having wet dreams. So this apply for both men and women. And secondly, for women specifically, it is upon seeing menstrual blood. So both of these signs might be seen from the age as early as 9 years old of Qamariya or Hijri calendar. So Qamariya calendar is different from Shamsiya calendar. So the usual one we use, the one that have 365 days, is called Shamsiya calendar. And the one we use in Islam is actually Qamariya calendar, which 1 year equals to 354 days. So if a person have a certain medical condition and so on, they have reached like they see blood and they are 9 years old, they need to count whether it is 354 days times 9. If it is enough, then it is considered a menstrual blood. Okay, so that is as early as it can be, from 9 years old. And it could be also later, depending on the place conditions and lifestyle. So most people may be 12 years old, 13 years old. It's very from people to people. So for some special case, maybe they do not have any wet dreams or menstruation until the age of 15 years old. So upon reaching this age of 15 Qamariah years, in Islam it is considered they already reached the age of puberty even without all these signs. Okay, so maybe they have some medical conditions, so even though they don't have it, once they reach 15 years old, it's still considered they reach puberty. Okay, so moving back to the question itself, the Taharah and Fiqh of Women. So when we talk about Taharah, it literally means cleanliness from the sensory impurities, means that from najis that we can see, touch or smell, or even moral impurities like jealousy, hasad, hate and others. Okay, so Taharah in Islamic law means that doing an action that permits prayer or allow you to pray. For example, ablution for those who doesn't have wudu. So when you have wudu, you are eligible or you are allowed to pray. So same goes to like ghusl or compulsory washing for those who need to ghusl. For example, if they finish their period or menstruation or nifas or after intercourse. And lastly is removing impurity from your body, clothes or place. So Tahara does not only means taking wudu and so on, but also making sure that the place where you want to pray is clean from any najis, and even your clothes, your body is clean from those najis as well. So yes.
So it's not like the inner dekat dalaman. Dia also dekat persekitaran kita, betul
Yes,
tak?
betul.
Okay.
So Taharah and Fiqh of Women. In conclusion, it means cleaning yourself or making yourself eligible to pray. And when we talk about Fiqh of Women, of course, it's related to women's affair. For example, haid or menstruation, istihadhah, nifas. And also, it also includes istinja, which is the very basic and core of Taharah itself, which is cleaning or getting rid of najis before praying. And for women, they have like vaginal fluid, or people call in Malay like keputihan and so on.
Yes.
So yeah, they need to clean it before going to toilet. And if it's affecting your clothes, you need to change it before praying. And also the same goes after you have your menstruation or nifas. You need to ensure that the blood fully ended, so there's no traces of blood before taking ghusl or compulsory shower. So even if there's like light spotting, you need to wait first before showering, because some people tend to like rush. Okay, there's no blood anymore. Okay, you have to pray fast. Okay, but then you need to thoroughly check whether it is clean or not before proceeding to have a ghusl or shower. That's all.
Okay, so I think that's the interesting introduction for this topic. I think that before we go deep into our session, let's take a break for a while. Stay with us on IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Untuk topik hari ini, kita membincangkan tentang Allah Maha Baik. Okey, saya nak mengajak kita semua sama-sama untuk mengenal siapa itu Allah, supaya dengan mengenal Allah, ia akan mendekatkan lagi diri kita pada Allah. Seterusnya, menambahkan lagi sangka baik kita pada Allah. Kerana dengan sangka baik inilah akan mengatur dan menyusun kehidupan kita untuk menjadi lebih baik, insya-Allah. Semoga dengan apa yang saya share hari ini dapat manfaatnya dan boleh kita aplikasikan dalam kehidupan kita, insya-Allah. Jangan lupa dengarkan di IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Hi everyone, we're from
Putra FM.
Don't forget to tune in to IIUM FM,
Your campus radio. Hey guys, welcome back with me, DJ Fina, for Hashtag Dan Dakwah. Episode 9 with an inspiring speaker, Sister Mind, is here to entertain you. So, before this, we talk about the concept of Taharah in Fiqh of Women, which is we discuss about the what is a haid, nifas, and also istihadhah. Now, can Sister Mai explain to the audience the difference between haid, nifas, and also istihadhah? What the difference between them?
Alright, thank you, Sister Afina.
Yeah.
So, to start, we start from haid or menstruation first. So, it literally means something that flow, and in the term of Islamic law, it is called dam jibillah in Arabic, or it means healthy blood. It means that it's a blood that naturally occurs that indicate a healthy body, and it happens to every woman's lah. Okay, so when a woman hit the age of puberty, they will have this menstruation blood. Okay, so menstruation, the minimum period of menstruation is 1 day and 1 night. So it cannot be less than that. And the maximum will be 15 days and night. So if there is more than 15 days and night, it will not be considered as menstruation. So when we talk about menstruation, it is it also have like what we call gap in between, or like it should be clean from any blood or menstruation blood, or in Malay waktu suci lah. So this gap should also be minimum 15 days and night. So between menstruation period, there should be a gap of 15 days minimum.
Okay.
So if less than that, it is not considered menstruation, and there are no maximum days for this waktu suci. And sometimes women, they have certain issues. They doesn't have period for a year or more, especially in the early age of puberty. So that is also considered normal. So because they need to adjust and so on. Okay. So if minimum menstruation period is 1 day and 1 night, so what is if less than that? So if less than that, it's what we call as istihadhah. Okay, so if more than 15 days, which is the maximum period of menstruation, it is also called istihadhah. So istihadhah period is the difference is through the color and the potency of blood, and also through the time where it occurs as well. So if more than 15 days and so on. Okay, so menstruation is actually mentioned in the Quran. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 222. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Wa yas'alunaka 'anil mahid qul huwa adan fa'tazilun nisaa fil mahid. Okay, Sadaqallahul azim. So this verse talk about menstruation, and during menstruation, between men and women, they should not have any intercourse. Okay, so moving on about istihadhah. So istihadhah is a blood that is a sign of weakness, and a sign of sickness, and it came from the beginning of the uterus. So from for menstruation, it becomes from at the end of the uterus, and istihadhah, it comes from the beginning of the uterus. So the place that it comes out is different. So istihadhah is different because this blood doesn't is invalidate wudu, but the person that have istihadhah blood doesn't have to leave solat or fasting like haid.
Yes.
Okay. So for istihadhah, since they have to pray, they have to fast. When it comes for the day for them to pray, they need to tie or wear pads, so that the blood does not leak through and goes to their garments and so on. And they also need to clean every time they go to prayer. So for istihadhah, it only valids if you say you take wudu, it only valids for one time of prayer only. So let's say Zuhur comes, and then after the azan, you have to take wudu, and then you have to pray. And then when Asar comes, even if you still have that wudu, you still need to renew your wudu, because it only valids for one prayer time only. So one of the most important thing to mention during istihadhah is you need to take the wudu after the prayer time comes, because if before, then it would be valid for the prayer time before. So if you want to pray Zuhur, you need to take the wudu after the imam have azan for for the muazzin have azan for Zuhur. So that's one thing. And secondly, one of the tips for istihadhah is you have to pray swiftly after you take ablution, because you cannot like take ablution and then you speak to your friend first, you go eat dinner first, and then you pray, because we want to avoid that blood from touching any part of our body or clothes. So you have to pray swiftly after you take ablution. Don't like waste time, like procrastinate first and then I'll do my assignment first and then I'll pray. So you have to make prayer quickly after you take wudu.
Okay.
So one of the other things is to always bring a pad or extra clothes when you when you go to class, and you don't have to like go back and forth, and I need to return to Mahala. No. So like if you bring extra pads, it will be easier to change. And maybe you could when you know you have istihadhah, you could like plan your trip, or if you plan to go hiking and so on, it will be not impossible but much more challenging to change your pads in the woods, and like for example if you're traveling in the plane and so on. So you need to take consideration into that. Okay, so among the other difference from haid and istihadhah is the prohibition of ibadah or things you can do. Is for example in haid or menstruation, you cannot do prayer, and you cannot read Quran or touch the mushaf, the whole Quran without a translation. And you can also stay in masjid because we are afraid that the blood, if it leaks, it will make the masjid dirty, and that will make it hard for other people to pray. And then they can also do tawaf during Umrah and Hajj, and they also cannot do fasting, either it is sunat or wajib. And lastly is to do abstinence from intimacy or sexual intercourse. So the difference with istihadhah is you can do all the things I've mentioned earlier, but for haid or menstruation, you need to leave it. Okay.
Okay. So so we know that the haid is the tempoh dia 1 sampai 15 hari. Is it right?
Betul.
So kalau lebih daripada 15, it's called istihadhah, right?
Betul.
And they also can when the woman have the istihadhah, dia boleh semayang, tapi dia tak boleh melambat-lambatkan solat.
Dia wajib solat.
Dia wajib solat, and dia tak boleh melambat-lambatkan solat sebab takut darah tu akan terkena dekat tu kan. So maksudnya kalau terkena dekat darah tu, so dia kena bersihkan balik lah, macam tu kan?
Kalau katakan kita sengaja melambat-lambatkan, lepas tu kita dah rasa keluar memang ada, memang kena tukar dululah sebelum solat. Tapi kalau katakan time solat tu kita dah betul-betul secepat mungkin kita terus solat, keluar semasa solat tu dimaafkanlah, sebab macam what could we do kan. Benda tu macam internally and always going out.
So you also said that the woman who in the state of istihadhah cannot perform tawaf or umrah, right?
In istihadhah they can.
Okay. Yeah. So how can you explain that? How can a woman perform the tawaf or umrah if she in state of istihadhah?
Okay, so as far as I learned, they can perform it because it is like actually tawaf is very similar to prayer. The only difference is you can talk while tawaf, those rounds, right? But in prayer you cannot talk, so that's the difference. But it's similar and also different at the same time. So when prayer is allowed or compulsory for women in istihadhah, so tawaf is also allowed for women istihaadhah as well.
Okay, so they can do the tawaf and umrah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I think that we are getting more lively. Let's have a short break and give away to our guest, our inspiring guest, which is Sister Mai, to have a little short break. So stay tuned with us on IIUM your campus radio.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. Hadirin wal hadirat hafizakumullah, bersama saya di dalam wacana Minda UIA. Kali ini kita akan membahas tentang salah satu agenda penting di dalam kerajaan kita, iaitu mewujudkan undang-undang atau akta berkaitan mufti wilayah persekutuan. Akta ini diharapkan dapat mengatur undang-undang ataupun menjadi peraturan untuk mentadbir jabatan mufti atau pejabat mufti wilayah persekutuan. Di dalam rang undang-undang ini, dia meletakkan tafsiran ahli sunnah wal jamaah kepada akidahnya Asy'ariyah dan Maturidiyah, fikihnya ikut mazhab Syafi'i, menerima 3 mazhab yang lain, dan ijtihad ahli jawatan kuasa fatwa, serta tasawuf berpegang kepada Imam Junaid dan Imam Al-Ghazali. Kenapa perlu ada tafsiran tersebut? Kerana undang-undang mestilah bersifat jelas, tidak ada ambiguity, tidak ada perkara yang boleh dijadikan blanket. Maka oleh sebab itu, atas nasihat pakar-pakar perundangan, menyatakan bahawa kena letak tafsiran siapakah ahli sunnati wal jamaah. Dan kita di alam Melayu ini, sejak zaman dahulu lagi, sebelum zaman Melaka lagi, sejak zaman zaman iaitu Islam di Pasai dan lain-lain, ini juga menceritakan atau membuktikan bahawa Islam kita adalah Islam ahli sunnah wal jamaah, mengikut 3 pacuan atau 3 acuan yang telah disebutkan tadi. Maka dari sini kita harapkan insya-Allah kita dapat bersama-sama bersatu untuk menjayakan agenda ahli sunnah wal jamaah, dengan harapan ia menjadi pegangan kita di alam Melayu ini sampailah hari kiamat. Aku lu qauli hadza, astaghfirullah li wa lakum.
Kapsul itu tadi dibawakan oleh yang berbahagia Dr. Muhammad Aiman Al-Akiti dari Kuliah IRKHS. Hanya di IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Dear listeners, I am Najah, the producer for Pages of Karangcraft. Don't forget to stay tuned with us. We will discover Karangcraft's bestseller collections every Thursday from 2 p.m. until 3 p.m. only on IIUM FM, your campus radio.
สวัสดีค่ะ พวกเราจากโรงเรียนดีนุนอิสลาม ขณะนี้ท่านกำลังรับฟังจากสถานีวิทยุ IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. You're still with me, DJ Fina, on segment Listen Up and also program #Dan Dakwah every Wednesday. Okay, so I hope that you guys are still energetic enough to get into the next part. Okay, so before this, Sister Mai already said that the period of the menstruation is 1 sehingga 15 hari, and also jika melepasi 15 hari, it's called istihadhah. So now can you introduce a little bit what is nifas, and there is any acts of worship a woman can perform during postpartum bleeding and also during her menstruation.
Okay, thank you, DJ Fina. So, for nifas, right? So nifas, there's another term wiladah and also fasad. These 3 name is falls under the category of when women give birth. Mm-hmm. So we have wiladah, which is like when a woman give birth, it literally means give birth. So just when a woman give birth, even if there is fluid or so on, they still need to have a ghusl or the compulsory shower or washing, because it's considered they are in janabah, or they are in when we call in Malay hadas besar. So secondly, we will also have nifas, which is postpartum bleeding. So this postpartum bleeding happens soon after giving birth. So after giving birth, there's blood coming out. So that is called the blood of nifas or postpartum bleeding. And the people or women that have this that see this blood of nifas is called nufasa in Arabic. So so this is the blood after giving birth. So if it is during contraction or with the baby coming up, it is not considered as nifas. It is called dam fasad, which is a corrupt blood. So that means they still need to pray. So while having the contraction, they still need to pray. If it's not possible, if the pain is too much, then they need to replace the prayer or qada afterwards. So the minimum period of nifas is 1 second, or like briefly. And the usual is 40 days, and then the maximum is 60 days. So that is the time period. And then usually for in our society, there is like a myth that they think that nifas should be 40 days. So even if the blood stops at say day 15, they still wait until day 40 before continuing to pray. So that is wrong. If the blood is only 15 days, it means it is more than the minimum time period. So they still need to have the compulsory washing, and they have to pray. It doesn't have to wait for 40 days. So even if the blood stop, they don't have to wait 40 days. So when the blood stop, they need to take ghusl and pray immediately. Okay. So
okay.
yes. So what is prohibited in nifas is the same as in haid or menstruation. So as you mentioned earlier, the 6 things. So they are the only prohibitions that women in menstruation or women in nifas cannot do. But they could do another things, like ibadah is not just limited to prayer and fasting only. They can do first like zikir, like maksurat. Have you ever heard of maksurat before, Sister Fina?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So maksurat is very good. It's a like compilation of zikir that is from the Prophet SAW. So it is very recommended to have the zikir of maksurat. Even during period you can, because it is zikir. And then secondly, tasbih, tahmid, takbir. And thirdly, istighfar. Number 4 is like listening to Quran or listening to tadabbur. You can just play any surah at your phone or tablet, and then you just listen to it. There's no problem with that. And then like making sadaqah, make dua to your parents, make dua to your lecturers, to your family, to your friends. And you can also help others. So helping others is also considered as a type of ibadah. Is ibadah umum, especially during iftar, when we know that hadith that if you help someone prepare iftar, you get the rewards as if you are fasting yourself. So it is highly recommended for women, especially in menstruation. You can, Ramadan is coming, you can help at the mosque or another place that they have iftar. You can help them prepare the food, and then inshallah you will get the same reward as the people that are fasting. So as we can see here, there are many type of ibadah that you can do during menstruation or during postpartum bleeding or nifas. And the only prohibited things that you cannot do is the one we mentioned earlier, like solat, tawaf, holding the mushaf of Quran and so on. Yes.
So even though the women have the periods, they also can do the others thing like sedekah. They also can recite the maksurat, right?
Yes, true.
Yes, that and helping others. So it's like good things lah.
Yes.
Good things that they do. And also they that they can do during their period. Okay. So also, can you give the guidelines or any steps that for a woman to cleanse herself after her head or the nifas ends?
Okay. So for the guideline of when menstruation ends or nifas ends, is defined by the Mufti actually in the the website. You can refer to their website. So among the things that is mentioned is there are signs if you can know if there is the menstruation stop. So firstly is dry from blood. So there is like no more blood coming out. So means that you have stopped from having the bleeding, or maybe there is a fluid, there is a clear fluid, or kisatul baida, or in Malay cairan putih jernih. So this is one of the signs of ending of menstruation and nifas. And how to cleanse yourself is firstly to use like a cotton or maybe tissue to, and how do I say it, to test the area and to see if there is any traces of blood or maybe any color like yellow or muddy color. So it is very important to do this, and many people doesn't know actually about this method. It is even mentioned in one of the narration from Sayyidatina Aisha, when people are come to her and show this cotton that have like a yellow stain on it. So Aisha said, you have to wait until there is this one cecai putih or a clear liquid that shows that you are clean from menstruation. Okay. Another thing to mention is, when we said menstruation maximum is 15 days,
Yes.
it doesn't have to wait 15 days. It can stop at, day 7 or day 9, differs from people to people, the usual time of period. So, when the blood stops, you need to test yourself, using this cotton or tissue. And then if it's fully clean, then you can clean yourself, clean your body, and then make sure there is no, blood at your body or maybe at your clothes, change from those clothes, and then take the ghusl or compulsory washing. And yes, that's basically it for the guidelines to cleanse after the nifas or menstruation ends.
So there's three, three. I think 3 steps for woman to cleanse herself after they finish their period, right?
Yes.
Such as they it dry from blood, and also if we want to test whether if it's dah boleh solat ke belum, we test using the cotton or tissue to make sure that there's no blood anymore, and also can take a mandi wajib orang kata kan.
Yes, betul.
So if a woman suspect her bleeding has ended but notice light spotting, what should she do before resuming acts of worship?
Okay. So, if woman thinks that their menstruation has ended, however, there's this light spotting,
Yes.
on your clothes, you see that there is maybe a little bit of blood, or maybe it's yellowish or muddy or like keruh in color. That is actually still considered as haid, and so you cannot pray yet. But it have to be within the period of menstruation. So if within the 15 days of your period, then it is considered as menstruation. If it's more than that, then it's not considered as menstruation. It can be istihadhah and so on. So the fuqaha, from the website of Mufti, the most fuqaha said that color yellow and muddy is considered haid, but only during the haid or menstruation period. So if it's outside, if it's like too short, maybe maybe it's during the height or menstruation period, but it's less than 24 hours. As we mentioned earlier, the minimum is 24 hours or 1 day and 1 night. So if it's too short, say only 3 hours or 5 hours, then it is not height. And if it is during the clean or waktu suci period, so there's this 15 days we're supposed to be suci from any blood. If there is like yellowish or muddy, then it is not considered as height. Okay. So that's what you should do. So when you notice the light spotting, you need to see the period of time. If it is during the menstruation period, then it is menstruation. If it is outside the menstruation period, then it is not considered as height or menstruation. And it is closely related to what I mentioned earlier, the story of Aisha radhiyallahu anha. So you need to make sure you are fully clean and not rush things, and make sure you are fully clean before you resume the acts of worship, continue to pray, fast, and so on.
Okay, so basically that we need to make sure that the blood not coming. Okay, so I think that's interesting, because before this I have it too, because I have this problem too.
Yes.
But after Sister Mai already said, so I was like, oh, okay. I need to see back. Okay. So I think let's take a break for 5 minutes before we move to our last slot for today. So stay tuned for the news, music, and also entertainment only at IIUM FM, your campus radio.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
الحديث 31 عن جندب رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حدث أن رجلا قال: والله لا يغفر الله لفلان، وإن الله تعالى قال: من ذا الذي يتألى علي ألا أغفر لفلان، فإني قد غفرت لفلان وأحبطت عملك، أو كما قال. رواه مسلم.
On the authority of Jundub, may Allah be pleased with him, who said that the Messenger of Allah, may the blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, related. A man said, by Allah, Allah will not forgive so-and-so. At this, Allah the Almighty said, who is he who swears by me that I will not forgive so-and-so? Verily, I have forgiven so-and-so and have nullified your own good deeds. It was related by Muslim.
Hi, hello, we are from Segi College.
Now you are listening to IIUM FM, your campus radio.
Enjoy!
Hi, welcome back into IIUM FM, your campus radio. So now we are near to the end of today's slots. Okay, so before this, Sister Mai already said that the worship, acts of worship a woman can perform during her haid or nifas, they can recite the maksurat, they also can sedekah and also help each other. So also the steps for woman to cleanse herself after her haid of nifas ends. Sister Mai say that there are 3 steps of this to cleanse herself lah. So which is dry from she needs make sure that she dry from blood, and also need to test by using cotton or tissue, and also take al-ghusl or mandi wajib. So what is the woman suspect what if the woman suspect that her bleeding has ended, but she noticed there is a light spotting? I think Sister Mai said that she needs to make sure that she needs to free from blood. Okay, so the last for today's slot, Sister Mai, do you have any additional message for our listeners, especially to our beloved sisters, to motivate them to have Fiqh of Women, especially in Taharah aspect understanding?
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, we have covered a lot of topics today with DJ Afina. So, as you can see, Fiqh Taharah and Fiqh of Women, it covers a broad aspect. We have different type of blood, like, haid, istihadhah, and then for women that are giving birth, there is nifas, wiladah, and fasad. And we also have methods of purification, which is the basic one is istinja, which means just cleansing yourself from any impurity or najis. And then we also have ghusl, which is the compulsory shower or washing, to make a person eligible to perform prayers. And we also have wudu. So each of these, like istinja, ghusl, and wudu, each of it have its own syarat or requirements in details. And we also have certain issue related to menstruation. Nowadays we have technologies, and we have new products and so on. And we also have change of lifestyle, people are more stressed and so on. So maybe they have different time of period. Some people have 7, some people have 10, some people have more than 15. When people say when you are having istihadhah, you are actually stressed. And when there is menstruation, there's also like different color. So you have to know, like, is this color considered istihadhah, or it's considered menstruation? And there are also different circumstances, like what should I do if I have istihadhah, and then I have to perform prayer and so on. So there are many things and aspects to think and consider about for Fiqh of Women. So I would like to advise all the audience and listeners of IUMS FM, and to myself too, to always keep on learning, and don't stop at just the basic knowledge. Always keep on learning, always keep yourself updated with the hukum and so on. You can follow, there is classes or workshops in IUM. There is Daurah Fiqh Wanita. There are a lot of it in IUM, or even outside in online or in YouTube videos. And then like what I shared to you is actually the basic one. There's also the advanced knowledge of that, when certain circumstances happen, what should we do. And then for women, for my beloved sisters, if you have any issue regarding to menstruation, istihadhah, please do verify your issue with your trusted source. For example, maybe scholars or ustazah that you trust, and you know that their knowledge is valid and true. And then from the website, like Mufti website, because I also refer to that a lot, because that is, the Mufti website is the most trusted, because they provide evidence, like from which kitab, from if there is dalil, and it's written by people from Jabatan Mufti, so you can really depends on them for anything regarding the hukum. Okay, so secondly, I would like to advise to all that Fiqh of Women is not only for women, but it's also for men to learn it, because men should also know. They need to teach it to their family. If they are married, they need to teach it to their wife, to their kids. And even if you don't have your own family yet, you have to teach it to the society, because not everyone have this knowledge. Even if you think it's basic and so on, maybe some people doesn't know. So always keep sharing on that. And there's one time I joined Daurah Fiqh Wanita, and actually most of the participants are men, which is good because I believe that this is an issue that should always be discussed, because it is related to our ibadah, our prayer validity. For example, if a person doesn't know that spotting is actually still considered as menstruation, then she like proceeds to pray with this spotting. So it will invalidate her prayer, and she ends up doing something that is prohibited, which is praying during menstruation. So this knowledge is very important for everyone. Like imagine if someone asks you and like you don't know, and if you have this knowledge and you can share it to other people, it doesn't only benefits you but also benefits other people as well. And a beneficial knowledge is one thing that can give you reward, and you can carry on even after your death. If you remember that hadis, right? Doa from anak yang soleh, and sedekah jariah, and lastly is ilmu yang bermanfaat. So I hope that my sharing today is beneficial, and you can benefit a lot from this. I hope that when we know something new, maybe we can correct the practice that we do earlier. Betulkan yang biasa, biasakan yang betul. So please pardon me for any of my shortcomings. If you have any doubt or anything, please do verify it with scholars or your lecturer, or the Mufti website, or any kitab that are trusted sources. And that's all. I really hope today's sharing is beneficial.
Okay, so Fiqh of Women is not just for women only. So the men also need to learn, because they need to mengajar for example, when they get married, okay, they need to teach their wife, okay, and also for women and male go to workshop or seminars that have the fiqh of women, okay. So then also please refer to the trusted one if you have any ragu-ragu ke, macam tak tahu ni, so please refer to the trusted one, okay. So lastly, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Sister Mai for being with us today. Thank you so much, Sister Mai. Okay. So to IIUM-FM lovely listeners, thank you for lending your ears and time to listen to our session. And don't forget to follow our social media, and also don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel to keep updated for the next segment and also upcoming programs. So stay tuned for the next segment, which is the Rush Hour with DJ Marisa. And with that, I'm DJ Fina, signing off today only at IIUM FM, your campus radio. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selembut sutra, kau miliki iman yang teguh. Kau nyalakan obor agama, dirimu bak lentera. Di belenggu jahiliyah, kau tempuh dengan berani. Walaupun jasadmu milik Tuhan, tetapi hatimu milik Tuhan. Padang pasir menjadi saksi ketabahan keluarga itu. Tingkah suami dan anak diberi menghadap mentari. Disuruh memilih iman atau kekufuran, sabar jahiliyah atau sinar dan akidah. Sabarlah keluarga Yasin, bagimu syurga di sana. Engkau pun tega memilih syurga, walau terpaksa mengorban nyawa. Namun tombak yang tajam menikam jasadmu yang tiada bermaya. Namun iman di dadamu sedikit tidak berubah. Darahmu menjadi sumbu pelita iman. Sumaya kaulah lambang wanita soleha. Tangan yang disangka lembut menghayun buayan, menggoncang dunia, mencipta sejarah. Sumaya kau dibunuh di dunia sementara untuk hidup di surga yang selama-lamanya. Kaulah wanita terbaik sebaik manusia. Namamu tetap menjadi sejarah. Darahmu menjadi sumbu pelita iman. Sumaya kaulah lambang wanita soleha. Tangan yang disangka lembut menghayun buayan, menggoncang dunia, mencipta sejarah. Kau dibunuh di dunia sementara untuk hidup di syurga yang selama-lamanya. Kaulah wanita terbaik sebaik manusia. Namamu tetap menjadi sejarah. Kaulah jadi sejarah. Cahaya menyuluh kegelapan, mendewasakan akal dan fikiran. Tidak hanya dunia kepalsuan, terhindar dari jurang kebatilan.
Hidup tanpa tujuan sama seperti layang-layang putus. Miliki tujuan dan percayalah anda dapat mencapainya. Itulah prinsip hidup yang harus kita kongsikan bersama. Hidup ini adalah ibarat apa yang kita lakukan pada hari ini. Ia bukan soal semalam sahaja, ia bukan soal akan datang, tetapi ia adalah soal sekarang yang harus kita isi dengan sesuatu yang sangat baik. Orang bijak adalah orang yang selalu belajar daripada kegagalannya, sedangkan orang yang bodoh adalah orang yang selalu menutupi kegagalannya. Jadilah seorang yang sentiasa ingin terus percaya bahawa Allah sentiasa memberikan peluang dan harapan kepada kita. Anda sedang mendengarkan IIUM.FM. Saya DJ Faiz sentiasa menghiburkan anda. Terima kasih.
Nami kulo Haikal Adha Al-Ghifari, mahasiswa komunikasi pasca sarjana sugeng rawuh ing radio IIUM FM, Radio Kampus Panjenengan.